live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, Lakers play another good team and get ran through by the good team, right? I mean, this is a trend all year, right? Like every time the Lakers run into somebody that can dominate them, they get dominated. It's that simple, right? Like Lakers just, I mean, this is not even surprising anymore, right? It's not even like not even a shock anymore. It's just, it's almost expected at this point. You know, he had a couple nice wins earlier, you know, against the Raptors and the Nuggets, but once again, falling back into old habits. And I mean, just the piss poor effort really is what it was. I mean, that effort was disgusting in that second half, really the third quarter. I mean, the game was over at the end of the third. You know, you're coming back at that point. Lakers essentially just packed it in. You know, Luka got a little wobbled and hung up, but you know, again, you recently, right? You have the wins against the Raptors and the Nuggets, and then you played the hottest team in basketball in the Clippers, and you got ran through by the Clippers. You were down by 26 at one point, right? And then you beat the Mavs and the Bulls, two bad teams that you're supposed to beat, and then you play the Cavs, and you get ran through and blitzed by the Cavs. You know, like I said, they still have a chance to go 5-3 on this road trip, which is what I talked about. You know, but I really wanted 6-2, and I said if they can beat the Cavs, I think they could go 6-2 because they'll beat the Wizards, or this Lakers team, you never know. They should beat the Wizards, probably get ran through by the Knicks, and then they'll hopefully beat the Nets, right? And again, it's just like, what do you say at this point? Like, again, this is to be expected, right? I mean, Lakers got absolutely blitzed. Wasn't even close after the start of basically the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. The game was over. You know, no one really played like super exceptionally well other than like Luka. You know, even LeBron had his struggles. He was 3 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 3 from three. He had 6 turnovers, 5 assists. So, I mean, guy had more turnovers than assists, right? I've talked about the turnover issues with LeBron and Luka. Luka has been better taking care of the basketball. He only had 2 turnovers. Luka had 12. He was 12 of 20, 60% from the floor, 3 of 8, 37.5% from 3-point range. Free throw shooting, he definitely needs to start hitting free throws. 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, probably would have had more. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron probably would have had more if guys could actually hit shots. Jake LaRavia, 0 of 5 from 3. He really struggled from the 3-point line. Ayton, 4 rebounds. He was 4 of 4 from the field. That was nice, 10 points. But outside of that, again, just didn't really give you the physicality and defense. Marcus Smart didn't really do much this game. Rui Hachimura, after 2 just monster games, had an awful game. 0 of 7, 0 of 2 from 3. Gabe Vincent was the real bright spot. I mean, he was the one that, raising that trade value. Hey, can I interest you in a Gabe Vincent? Look, Gabe out here killing Minnesota, right? Dante DiVincenzo is one of the names. Like, hey, Gabe Vincent, Dante DiVincenzo, just a nice little swap. Hey, you guys need a point guard. We could use a bench scorer. Can I interest you? He was the second or third best player in a NBA Finals run. Just saying, Jackson Hayes was solid in his minutes. Jared Vanderbilt offensively, he's not somebody that you're really leaning on offensively. Rebounding wise, gave you 6 rebounds in 15 minutes. Drew Timme, he basically was garbage time. Dalton Knecht, same thing, basically garbage time. Bronny James, 3 of 3 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3-point range, had a steal. I've talked about Bronny James. If his offense comes around, right, consistently, he could be exactly what this team needs. Young, athletic, point of attack ball. I mean, you could argue he's our best ball pressure guard, right? Like, I mean, it's not saying much when it's like Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, right? Like, but Bronny James really is very good at just applying that ball pressure and just being physical defensively. Again, this was just not a great game at all. But you know who did ball out? DeAndre Hunter. This was clearly like a, hey, come get me. Because there were reports earlier about DeAndre Hunter being linked to the Lakers again, that the Cleveland Cavaliers are shopping DeAndre Hunter. That after Jalen Tyson's emergence, which he had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and was given. He was giving LeBron fits, like genuinely giving LeBron fits. But ever since his emergence, they've been open to trading DeAndre Hunter, and I think it was Brett Siegel said that DeAndre Hunter is the Lakers' number one target right now. And for the Lakers' number one target, 7 of 15 from the field. So just under 47% from the field total. 3 of 8 from 3, 37.5%, 2 of 2 from the foul line, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 19 points. He was a +7 for them off the bench. I mean, making a case. I will say that he's definitely making a case. But again, just what do you say at this point? It's not any good. This team just doesn't have the athleticism and the defense and the switchability and all that stuff. Lonzo also apparently is available. I don't hate the idea of bringing Lonzo in. He didn't take a shot, but he grabbed 5 boards, 2 assists, had 2 turnovers. But maybe you do something where you get like Alonzo and a DeAndre Hunter or something like that to justify it. I don't know. Lakers got to do something, and hopefully that something is soon. Because good news. We're only like a week away from the trade deadline, so we're gonna have our answer in the next like 8 days. But it's like, come on, man, so frustrating. Anyway. Let's get into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all that stuff. Real quick for me, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button for me, and let's just dive into it. Like I said, there's not really much to talk about. I wish I had stuff to break down and, things to analyze and whatnot, but this was just a terrible game by the Lakers. Couldn't score the basketball, couldn't defend. It's usually not a good combination. When you can't score and you can't defend, it's usually a good way to get blown out. And that's exactly what happened. But anyway, let's get into it. Trustburger. I swear when teams play the Lakers, they turn into 2017 Warriors every time. Any like half decent team, right? Good team. Cavs, look, they were on a 4-game win streak. They were, a little disappointing earlier in the season, but they've really picked it up late. They kind of are getting back to being the Cavs team of last year. And it's just they ran through us. Sometimes this team just plays like a joke. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. Gosh, man, ain't no trades saving this team, man. You need a complete retool. Again, you get a couple guys. Lakers need 3-4 guys. Get better, like legit 2-way guys that can actually shoot the basketball and defend at a high level. Right? Problem is, you just got a bunch of slow, unathletic, non-versatile defensive players that you're trying to switch everything, you're trying to do everything, and somebody doesn't do their assignment. All of a sudden, you're getting backdoor, you're getting slammed. Again, don't underestimate the value of a couple, like 2 or 3 additions. You go get a Keon Ellis, a DeAndre Hunter, and an Ayo Dosunmu, and those guys actually like legit can knock down shots and get after it at a high level defensively. This team would look very different, right? The problem is, again, you only have, your only real like athletic, versatile defender is Jared Vanderbilt and LeBron at times, right? You can't do it, like you could when he was 27, right? So really the only guy you have that can consistently apply the energy and effort and defense, for a full game is Jared Vanderbilt. Right, Jake LaRavia is he's been very good defensively this year, but he is limited. He's not like this hyper freak athlete, right? He's just more crafty, physical, strong, kind of stay in front of guys. Marcus Smart, same thing, right? But Marcus Smart isn't this like hyper athlete. He's not like super athletic, so it's just, where do you see this team going in the next month or so? I think it depends on if trades happen or not. Austin Reeves coming back will help this team a ton. Right? I know you watch some of these games, it doesn't really feel like it, but it will, right? Like Austin Reeves' playmaking, his scoring ability, right? Obviously, we got to give him a handful of games to kind of get back into the swing of things, but like when we were struggling to score the basketball, and the Cavs are going on their run. Right? Having a guy like Austin Reeves who can, again, self-create, create a little bit for others, get to his spots, get to the foul line, right? Kind of slow things down, slow the game down, keep the pressure on the opposing team. So yeah, you're kind of trading buckets, but you're kind of you're hoping to kind of weather the storm enough, stay close enough to where you kind of start making the adjustments and waking up and figuring things out. Right. And then just in games in general, you won't be so reliant on Luke and LeBron. When LeBron's having his struggles like he did today, right? Where he couldn't even seem to dribble the basketball today. I don't know if it was the emotional thing. You got the video tribute before the game. So, maybe it was a little emotional, whatever. I don't know. But, he just wasn't very good, right? He couldn't take it. He couldn't handle the basketball, couldn't dribble the basketball, could do anything. Like a game like this is like where you really need Austin Reeves. A game like this is where it's like, hey, LeBron can go and play off ball, and then Austin Reeves can be more on ball and kind of handle the ball duties and stuff like that. Like, at least that's the idea. Bad games happen. I'm not like up here saying like, oh, LeBron's washed or anything like that. I'm just saying like he didn't have a great game at all. And, having a guy like Austin Reeves would help a ton. So I'm confident this team will be a playoff team. I mean, I've said it from the beginning. Luckily, there's enough bad teams in the league to where the Lakers will still probably be pretty good. But again, it's just, are they a title contender? That's the question, right? Bronny with his quirk factor 50% smash. Let's see. Tough loss, Gabe Vincent with a nice debut before the trade deadline. Yeah, I know he's raising his trade value. I love it. He's a good player, but I think he'll get traded. Keep the good content. Lakers' best path on the road trip now is 5-3. 6-2 seems not likely. Yeah, like I said it in the last live stream. It really boiled down to this game, the Cavs game. If Lakers beat the Cavs, I thought that they would go 6-2. Now I think at best you're probably looking at 5-3. Again, maybe if you beat the Knicks, then sure. But do we really trust the Lakers against these good teams? Austin Reeves should hopefully be back by then. But again, Austin Reeves coming back, you got to keep in mind, it might take him a couple games. It might take him a few things to kind of get into the swing of things again. You know what I mean? So it's just frustrating. But yeah, Gabe Vincent, like I said, he had a nice game. Look, I've said it a bunch of times, right? Like if we had everything we needed, right? If we were like a complete team and were a true title contender, I wouldn't be so against keeping Gabe Vincent. Like genuinely, like again, he's a guy that is a playoff performer. He has shown over his career. He's a guy that can have nights like this where he just, is hitting everything and playing well. He can give you some defense and point of attack, stuff like that. Problem is that we don't have that complete team. And so we're more reliant on him than we need to be, and he's too inconsistent to rely on him to the level we need to rely on him on. But if he's, your 10th guy, like, sure, the games that he's playing like this and he's cooking, let him cook, right? The games where he's struggling and can't hit a shot to save his life and is getting bullied on the defense side of thing, pull him out, right? Like, but, so again, I think Gabe on the right team in the right situation, I think he'd be great. Like a team like, the Thunder, I think he'd be really good on, or the Spurs or something like that. The teams that have the things already that just kind of, Houston, I think he'd be great on Houston, like where he could just kind of play his role, be that initiator, kind of be a poor man, Fred VanVleet, bring the ball up, be that initiator, get you in your action. You got the athletic wings and stuff like that. So you can just focus on like the guard defense and playing within the schemes and then just hit the open shot, right? Like I do think that in the right situation, Gabe Vincent would be pretty good, right? Like don't be surprised that like Gabe in the offseason goes to a team like Houston and he's like really good. And everyone's like, why wasn't Gabe like this on the Lakers, right? What happened to the team I love? I feel you, Dylan. It's just, your guess is as good as mine at this point. We're back to old habits. Hope Reeves is back next game. Make some trades soon. Yeah, you said it beautifully. Hopefully Reeves back, and then we make some trades. When we have a guy like Ayton and LeBron that playing without effort and just pick a lot of turnovers, it's easy for the other team. They just need to get to the basket and it's free buckets. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, this wasn't a great LeBron game by any stretch. We need to trade for Giannis, if only. In the offseason, I do think it's realistic. The only way I see the Lakers being able to trade for Giannis at this trade deadline is if Austin Reeves agrees to go to Milwaukee and he's willing to sign an extension or new contract, right? Because then you could argue that Austin Reeves is the best player that they could get. Right? Like, you're not going to get a better player than Austin Reeves from the Knicks, from, the Raptors, from, Portland, right? Like, Austin Reeves would be the best player you'd get. Plus, Lakers could still give a first and whatever else. Like, here, take whatever you want type thing. And especially for a team like the Bucks that can't bottom out. They're a team that can't fully go into tank mode. But I just don't think Austin Reeves is going to want to go there. I'm just glad Luka's okay. The court is so unbelievably stupid. Yeah, it's the only court in the league that's like that. You're worth billions of dollars, and the team can't spend a couple $1,000. Make it level. So stupid, bro. Yeah, I mean, the problem is like these billionaires are usually cheap, right? So unless the league makes them and kind of cracks down on them, right? Who is it? It was Drew Smith on Miami. He on that court like broke his knee or his leg or something like that. Like, I know he got really hurt, like seriously hurt on like a similar play. So it's the problem. Lakers didn't want to win tonight. Lakers didn't want to play tonight. This was just like a very, back to being a lethargic team. Trade Connect, please, Rob. Supposedly Dalton Connect requested a trade, like went into the office and, asked to be traded. So we'll see. Luka had 29. Other 4 starting units had 29. Yeah. Yep. Luka, like I said, Luka showed up. Others did it. Seeing LeBron cry made me feel like this is his last time playing in Cleveland. It felt that way. Right? Like, which is why I said maybe earlier, maybe it's just emotional and just kind of going through the motions and stuff, kind of, thinking over his career and stuff. It sucks when you're playing a game, but, again, it is crazy. Like, that could be very, very real the last time he plays in Cleveland. Right? Like, that's crazy to think about. Look, I've said it a million times, right? Like, however you feel about LeBron, whether you love LeBron, whether you hate LeBron, whatever, like, appreciate it while you got it. Because however you feel, he is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He is a truly generational talent, right? Like, the closest thing in the league to maybe a level of LeBron is, Victor Wembanyama. Outside of that, right now, unless somebody just becomes something, we might not see anything close to LeBron for who knows how long. I mean, you're talking about arguably the greatest player to ever play the game. Whether you believe he is or not, he is in that conversation. Like, that doesn't come around every so often, right? Like, that's something that, we might never see again in our entire lifetime. I think Curry is only a all-star starter because they have one of the legends be a starter. Other than that, there is no reason Ant shouldn't be a starter. Yeah, the Curry thing was Curry being an all-star, absolutely, but like being a starter, it's more just, again, he's a fan favorite. He's a legend, an icon type thing. That was horrible. I'm sorry to say, I'm embarrassed to be like, I don't blame you. that was, you said it beautifully. Embarrassing. What happened to Rui? It was a bad game. Like, again, I'm not expecting him to average 20 off the bench, right? Obviously, I didn't want him to basically give me a goose egg, right? But this is part of the reason why I've talked about him as a starter, right? Because when he's not scoring the basketball, he doesn't really give you anything else. Right? To his credit, he has been like night and day defensively recently. Not this game, obviously. How much of this game was just a write-off? You just write it off and you just move on type thing. I don't know. We'll see. Um, let's see. Please don't say the name Gabe Vincent ever again. I feel it. I feel it. This game's just got to be a wash and move on. Yeah, I mean that's all you can really do if you're the Lakers, right? You just kind of take it in stride, take it on the chin, just say, hey, it is what it is, and you put it in your rear view and you move on to the next one. Time to be done with the LeBron experiment. 11.6 turnovers, minus 23 on the floor. He just played well against mediocre teams. 30-point blowout is sad. I mean, he's played well against other teams that aren't, we just haven't beaten those teams. He's had some like monster games. Again, LeBron, problem is LeBron's far from our problem. We have so many other problems that we need to address. Like LeBron is the last thing that we need to worry about. I'm not against moving off of him in the offseason and really kind of like building out the depth and versatility and stuff like that. But like again, this was guys have bad games. It happens. This was a bad game. He's not the guy that he used to be. Hunter over Rui trash. Yeah, not wrong. Like JV high school team. Hunter for Connect, if only. You got to match salaries, so you'd have to do a lot more. I saw it's probably going to be something like a Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent type thing. Be like Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent for DeAndre Hunter, somewhere in that range. Because Hunter's making, I think it's like $23 million right now. This season. DeAndre Hunter contract. He's making, pretty sure it's 2,300 off the top of my head. He is making next year it's 25. I know he has this year and then he has next year. And then but I think it's come on. There we go. Yeah, it's 23.3 million. So it'd probably be something like a Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt for Hunter is what the Lakers are ideally wanting to do. So basically Cleveland clears like 15 million off their books next year. And then Lakers get kind of an upgrade in that. I don't really want to trade Jared Vanderbilt, but if the Lakers can get off, especially if they're going to take Hunter and his 25 million, Lakers want to preserve cap space. So if you move off of Jared Vanderbilt, it's like the Lakers only have 15 million in salary next year, right? Because you almost have the same amount of cap space. You'd have like 40 million instead of 55, where if you don't get off of Jared Vanderbilt, then you only have like 30 million. Did Dalton demand a trade? Yes. I don't know. He requested. He's not really in the position to demand, but he did request a trade. He asked if he could be traded by the trade deadline. Heard we are interested in Hunter. Would you do Rui, DK, and a first, or is that too much? I wouldn't do Rui and a first. Like Hunter, I like Hunter a lot. I've talked about Hunter in the past, but he's more of that secondary wing, right? DeAndre Hunter as your primary wing is probably not ideal, right? Like he is best as like that secondary wing where, let's say the Lakers had Andrew Wiggins, just for argument's sake. Andrew Wiggins would be your primary wing. He's the guy that's defending the guards 1 through 3 for you. He's the guy, he's the guy defending the best player, and he's the guy that can self-create and do all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. Hunter as your secondary guy to where he's defending like the wing or whatever, the second best player or whatever, and then his ability to hit shots and secondary create and stuff like that. Then yes, he is, right? Like the only reason Cleveland would want to get off of DeAndre Hunter is to clear salary, right? So that way they can kind of retool in the offseason. And with Jalen Tyson kind of coming into his own, right? That's the guy that they want to kind of lean into, right? So it's like you got that cheap guy we can kind of upgrade. If we win the chip this year, then cool. If we don't, then we have kind of a little bit of money to go and do something else in the offseason, right? Get under the make sure we're under the second apron and all that stuff. And we're in good shape. That's kind of the idea. So And again, Rui has value for the Lakers, is the thing. So, you know, again, we need this end, right? Like we need a Hunter and Rui, because Rui can be that guy that provides the scoring off the bench. So you could have Hunter at the three as your starting three, and then have like, Jake LaRavia, Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes, right? Like Hunter alone would help solve a lot of things. But Hunter can be a little inconsistent at times too. Like, yes, it's good and bad. He's shooting the ball abysmal this year. Giannis forgetting. Hopefully we can get Keon Ellis and Io. We could really use 2, 3 and D wings. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So there were reports that came out this morning that Chicago is actually planning on signing Io to a new contract in the offseason, that they want to trade Kobe White. They don't want to trade Io. So again, I don't know how real he's going to be, but Keon Ellis, it really is just the asking price, right? The Keon Ellis is really just like, they just need to lower it from a first to a second. Let's see. Frustrating game. I mean, that's putting it nicely. You get a trade, you get a trade, you get a trade. If we need it, we definitely need it. They got to get rid of LeBron. His frustrations be messing up the flow, and he's my favorite player. Like you in your hometown, you should have came out and dominated to show those young boys why you called Keen. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this was not a good look by LeBron. It's one game. I don't want to get too much on him. All right, like he's been really good recently, but this was not a good look. This was definitely not a good game. Didn't take advantage of the opportunity to win with no Mobley, Trust or Garland. Yeah, I think you meant Strus, but I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. LaRavia and Smart both starting is a problem. They're both inconsistent offensively, and at times they both have bad games. Yeah, I mean, the problem is you don't have anybody else. They're your two best defensive guys, right? They're your two best versatile guys. I mean, you're not going to start both of them, because Austin Reeves is going to come back, and then he'll be in the starting unit. Tyler's the same old story with this team. 1,000%. I agree with you. Like 100%. Like, it's just, every time they play a bad team, it's like you can almost set your watch to it. It's like, it's coming, and it's frustrating. Season is over. We're cooked. No trades saving us. No team wants our scraps who aren't proving anything on this roster. The bum we have, as long as Rob is here, Lakers will never win a chip. I mean, like, Rob Pelinka put together a championship team, like literally put together a championship team, and we won a championship with it. But I don't underestimate the value of trades. I know it's frustrating. I know you watch a game like this and it looks like you're like, dude, you could get 10 new players and this team's still terrible. Again, basketball's 5-on-5, right? Especially once you get to playoffs and you're only running 8 guys and stuff like that. Like, you go get like 3 quality rotation guys that actually are two-way guys and have athleticism, and get basically 3 guys that give you what you need. I think if you can get a high-end guy and like a second-tier guy, I think you'll be fine. You can get like a Hunter and like a Keon. I think that might be enough to put you over the top, or at least more in the conversation, right? Again, it's just depends on what the Lakers are actually able to get. Like, teams don't want Lakers scraps in the sense of like, ooh, this guy is a great player, let's bring him on. But teams want the Lakers expiring contracts. Expiring contracts are gold. It's just, can Rob find a trade that he's happy enough with for that? What an ugly game. The whole team, including the coach stuff. Yeah. I mean, this was a bad game. This was a game where it felt like they just quit. 4 more games until the deadline. Then it is the end of the line for Gabe, Maxey, and Dalton. Might as well get them passports ready. Hopefully Lakers do something. That's my concern. They got outscored 72-44 in the second half. That's disgusting. 1,000%. Why is everybody always worried about defense? Did you see the points we scored? Because, it's not just defense, it's the two-way guys. Lakers getting two-way guys, which would help your offense and your defense. But also Austin Reeves coming back. Lakers will probably be back to scoring 115, 120. And like, the problem is Lakers can't stop anybody, right? Like, more often than not, the Lakers put up enough points to win. They just can't stop. They just give up more than they'll give up 130 and put up 115, or 110. Like that's the problem. Vando might need to start. I mean, especially if Laravia and Marcus Smart are going to continue to be inconsistent offensively. Yeah, literally, it's what it felt like. It felt like this team just gave up. Yeah, this team just packed it in, just said, all right, we're good. I agree. Then they get out rebound by everybody. That's another reason why they lose this game. Yeah, I mean, they were getting just bullied on the boards. It goes into lack of athleticism, lack of speed. Like, you don't have guys that can track down those 50-50 balls. You give up 14 offensive rebounds. You only had 8. They damn near doubled you in offensive rebounds. Second chance points, hitting shots, right? Like, you can't give a team like this those many opportunities. Rui is garbage. Definitely was this game. Luka Dookie was good in the first quarter with the passing, but he stopped because guys couldn't hit shots. I mean, he was literally the only guy that was generating offense. It's kind of hard when, again, here, let's just go down the line. LeBron, 0 of 3. Laravia, 0 of 5. Marcus Smart, 0 of 1. Rui Hachimura, 0 of 2. Gabe Vincent, 3 of 5. Jackson Hayes didn't shoot threes. Jared Vanderbilt, 0 of 2. Drew Timmy, 0 of 2. Dalton Connect, 1 of 2. And that was in garbage time. Lakers were 9 of 32 from three-point range. Let's remove the garbage times threes. So that's 3 threes, right? That means they were 6 of 29? They were 6 of 29. Luka had 3 of those. Luka was 3 of 8. Gabe Vincent had the other ones. All of our three-point shots in the game came from 2 guys, right? Again, it's kind of hard to, when it's like, I'm the only one scoring the basketball here. We were so trash defensively. I'm so tired of the inconsistent effort. Yeah, a lot of it is just lack of effort. This team's not beating the Knicks. I don't think so either. Not the way they're playing her. Not if this team shows up. Let's see. Rui cannot be trusted. DeAndre Hunter gave them the business. We don't want Hunter over Rui. I mean, I would take Hunter over. Hunter's a better player. My only thing is, again, if it boils down to what do you have to give up? Like, if I have to give up Rui, a first, all this stuff, I'd rather go for kind of the second tier guys, and then you can keep that $25 million. Because that's the thing too. Like, you're tapping into your cap space. You're doing it. Like, it's not just as straightforward and linear, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into it. And the only reason that the Cavs are trading him is because they want to get off of his salary. That has inherent value. So to me, it's like, I'm not selling the farm for a guy that's probably really best as like a rotation wing rather than like a clear-cut starter, right? It's just the Lakers just don't have anybody close to that, right? So it's the problem. Originally, I said no to Hunter, but this game tonight got me considering it. Again, it boils down to he's a great player. He's a good player, right? He can be a little lax defensively, right? But my thing really boils down to what is the cost? Right? If I have to sell the farm for DeAndre Hunter, you're almost better off doing nothing, because he'll make you better, but he by himself is not going to be enough to take this team over the top, right? Like, he had a decent showcase for the Lakers. Yeah, I mean, this felt like hey, come get me. That's what this felt like. Hunter killed in the third. Yeah, he did. He had a monster third. If we can get a Keon and Hunter at the deadline, that would be Christmas gift. Gosh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, something like that. Now we're talking, right? Like, if you can, do a couple things, go get 2 or 3 guys, I think the Lakers are in business. I'm not putting too much stock in this game. My problem is if this was an outlier. I was going to say wasn't an outlier. If this was an outlier, I would say the same thing, right? Like, if this was just like one of those games, I would have came on there and I'd be like, it sucks. It's disappointing. I'm frustrated. But, hey, games like this happen. My problem is that this isn't the reason I do put stock into it is because this happens regularly, right? Like Lakers lose, they get blown out and they struggle against good teams. They've only beaten like a handful of good teams this year. The reason their record is so good is because they are doing a good job of beating all the bad teams. You're not gonna get Giannis. Stop thinking about him. Just like we weren't gonna get Luka, right? This trade deadline, we're probably not gonna get him. I agree. I've maintained from the beginning. But in the offseason, Lakers, you can make an argument Lakers have the best package to present in the offseason. If again, it really boils down to Austin Reeves. But if Austin Reeves wants to go, I mean, Austin Reeves and 3 firsts, there's not a team in the league that's going to give more than that. Like Lakers would have the best package at that point, right? Like here's the best player you could get and 3 first-round picks, right? Like, is it pitchfork season yet? It's getting there. Definitely getting there. At this point, go all in for Giannis. Problem is, like I said, I just don't, unless Austin Reeves says, hey, I will go to the, I mean, we wouldn't know that. It'd have to go on behind the scenes. If Austin goes like, hey, I'll go to Milwaukee, like as long as they pay me, I'll go to Milwaukee and sign a new contract there and be the guy and they can build around me. Perfect. And like, even if I'm the Lakers, it's like, dude, I'm not trying to trade you for peanuts. I'm trading you for Giannis. Like, I'm trying to put together a deal to get Giannis, right? Like, I have no choice. I have to do it. Like that's kind of how I present it. I mean, Austin Reeves might just tell them, yeah, I'll sign with you just to help the Lakers get Giannis and then come back in the offseason. We'll sign you in the offseason. It seems like other teams developed their young guys better than the Lakers. It's essential to get bench depth right now. I mean, yes, like I said, Tyson kind of came out of left field, right? Like he kind of got an opportunity and then it just happened, right? Like problem is Lakers don't have a ton of young guys, right? Like, and yeah, they have like the 2-way guys and stuff like that. But like you like a dude there, like if a dude there was healthy, that's the problem. He hasn't been healthy all year. That's part of the reason the Lakers were able to get him where they were able to get him because he was dealing with an injury, right? Like it's hard to know when, like would JJ Redick be playing a dude there more, especially after like how impactful Jared Vanderbilt has been. If a dude there was fully healthy, like would he be seeing more minutes? I don't know. That's the problem. Dalton looks so mad at the end of the game. Yeah. Save you people. Hunting things the family business. We're getting there. If we trade for Giannis, what number would him and Thanasis be? That's a good question because, Shaq 34. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what other numbers Giannis is, a fan of or interested in. They better not trade Vando for Hunter. He's going to hound us the whole game and make Cleveland defense better, man. No thanks. No, look, I get you. I'm right there with you, Coswin. I say it every time I talk about trade Jared Vanderbilt. I personally would not trade Jared because my problem is we need Jared Vanderbilt right. Like, so if you just turn yes, Hunter's better than Jared Vanderbilt. So if you can turn Jared Vanderbilt into DeAndre Hunter, you almost have to do it because he's the better player. But the problem is Lakers still need 2 or 3 wings, right? Like the problem is like the Lakers don't yes, bringing in Hunter helps a ton, but now you don't have anybody else, right? Like that's the problem. Now, again, like I said, if the Lakers trade for Hunter and end up landing Jonathan Kuminga and then trade for like a Keon Ellis, then sure, right? Because it's like, where do you fit Vando in at that point, right? All 3 of those guys are going to give you more, they're better 2-way guys. So you're going to play them over Vando at times. So now you're paying Vando $12 million a year to be a spot minute guy, right? It's probably in your best interest to trade him. But, if all we're going to do is just like trade for Hunter and then that's that, I'd rather keep Jared Vanderbilt. I'd rather trade, Rui or not Rui, Gabe and Max, right? Trade Gabe and Maxey and if you can throw and connect or whatever, right? Let's see. If we trade Vando, I'd rather have someone at least similar defensively to him. Like if they are almost defensively, but better offensively, then do it. But I'd rather keep him. Again, like I said, it really boils down. Like if the Lakers get multiple guys, like somebody like a Jonathan Kuminga, right? He is not as good as Jared Vanderbilt, but he has the potential to be like when he first came in the league, he was that defensive assignment guy. So, but he's better offensively, right? Like if you can get a guy that, yes, he's not as good defensively as Jared Vanderbilt, but he's good defensively, but he's much better offensively, then I'd rather take the two-way guy over the one-dimensional guy, right? Like, Keon Ellis. If you trade for Hunter and you go get Io and Keon Ellis and you traded Vando, I'm okay with that, right? Because yes, you could argue Vando's better defensively than both Keon and Io, but they're good enough defensively and far better offensively to where it's justified, right? Again, it just depends on what the end result is. But if they just trade for Hunter, it's like you need a guy like him. He's like desperately. No, he did not. He was out this game. Cleveland, this one is for you. I hope Giannis chooses too. I've got no idea. But what I do have is a GED and a give up attitude, and I'll figure it out. Problem is, no one else gets these quotes but me. That's the beauty of it. Let's see. What if Rob Pelinka does nothing in the trade deadline? I mean, I've talked about this before. Like, I would be very disappointed, right? I get people that ask me a lot, like, would I be mad if Rob? Like, mad is the wrong word, right? But I would be disappointed, right? Like, but if you were ever going to just like do nothing and go into an off season, it's really this off season, because again, there's a treasure trove of guys that you can get. You could really carve out this roster. Your Lakers are projected to have the second most cap space in the league, and you're the Lakers. Everybody's going to want to go to Lakers. Wait a minute. I can go to the Lakers, play with Luka, and try to contend for an NBA championship and play a big role and play a big piece and whatever. Like, yeah, I could maybe get 15 million here. I could go take 12 million and go play for the Lakers. Like, there's a lot of guys that you can get, a lot of like, long-term answers, stuff like that. And again, there's an argument that like the Lakers might not be able to get enough, right? Like the only way I would be mad is if we got word that the Lakers had moves that were clear that they should have made and they didn't make them, right? Like you could have gotten Jonathan Kuminga for free and they just didn't do it, right? Like I'd be mad. Or you could have gotten Keon Ellis for a second and you didn't do it. I would be mad, right? But like if it's one of those things where like Sacramento doesn't lower their asking price and it's like we'd have to sell the farm for a Hunter or something like that. So it's like, is it worth just getting Hunter and then Hunter would make you better, but is he enough to make you that much better? No. You probably need 2 or 3 guys, right? At least. So unless the Lakers are able to do that, there is an argument to just kind of go into the offseason. Am I the only game piece on the board who doesn't underestimate them denim rap nightmares? Lakers doo-doo. Bron cost me money too. Yeah, Bron had a rough game tonight. That's for sure. I just hope we don't stall making moves because of the Giannis stuff. At least make some small trades. Plus, how did Bronny play better than the majority of our bench? Again, I like Bronny. Look, I've been a big Bronny defender guy. Like Bronny's good. Like people, the problem is it's Bronny James. I say it all the time. If his name was Johnny Brames, all the Lakers nation would be like, oh, dude, just watch out. This kid, give him a year or two. He's the youngest player on the team. And and everyone wants him to be a superstar already. Like, again, he was the 55th pick in the draft. I've already talked about it. He might be our best on-ball defender. like genuinely, like applying ball pressure and stuff like that. He's really good because he has that athleticism and the speed, and he's got quick hands and stuff like that, and good IQ, and he reads things well, right? He's already got like the defensive side of things down. He needs better defensive, positioning. Right? He'll give too much of a drive lane. He kind of is too reliant on his athleticism, right? So you see him kind of gamble at times where if all he needs to do is learn, like, hey, your athleticism should be an advantage, not a crutch, right? You shouldn't be leaning on your athleticism to be a good, like, you're good enough to stay in front of guys, shift, do everything, use your athleticism to overwhelm the offensive player rather than, because you'll see him try to like gamble and then he knows I'm athletic enough and quick enough, I can get back, right? And stuff like that. So there are things that maturity wise he needs to learn, better discipline, stuff like that on the defense side, but he's already really good. Right? He's probably one of our best defensive players on the roster already. It's just the offensive side of things. He is very inconsistent offensively, which he's 21 years old. He's going to have that time, right? But the good thing about Bronny, and I've talked about this a ton of times, like people don't pay attention to the actual like gameplay. They just see that Bronny was like 0 of 5, right? And the reason the gameplay is important is because you would see Bronny's really good at getting to his spots. He just doesn't have that proper touch yet. But he's taking guys off the dribble regular. He's beating guys on that first step regularly. He's getting into the defense, getting to his spot regularly. Like he's getting his shot off regularly. He just doesn't have that touch. Once he learns better kind of defensive discipline and starts to get that touch, I'm telling you, man, he might be like a real rotate. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar or anything like that. Not everyone needs to be. But on paper, he's the exact kind of player the Lakers need. Young, athletic, versatile, hustles, plays hard, right? Works harder. Come get Giannis after the next game. That way we got Luka, ideally. I know what you were really trying to say. I get it. If Rob can pull off a trade for Wiggins and Ellis, do you think that would be enough to get us over the hump? Potentially. It always depends on fit, right? Too. We've seen a lot of guys over the years go to a team like really good in one area and then go to another area, such as the Lakers, and not perform, right? Like Andrew Wiggins in particular, there'd be a little bit of an adjustment playing alongside Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Keon Ellis, I don't really think there would be. I think Keon, it's just like, hey, man, we just need you to be a pest and knock down the open shot. But Andrew Wiggins, there would be. If Andrew Wiggins is able to kind of find his pocket, so to speak, and play within schemes, then yes, it could potentially be enough. Ain't gonna be a trade. Off season's gonna be lit though. I mean, that's very possible. Very possible. Cavs got to fix their court for sure. Yeah, got to do something. Doesn't matter how the Lakers perform. At the end of the day, there's always room for pie. Exactly. We're an upgraded starting center and two-way 3-and-D wing away from championship. It's very possible. Again, don't underestimate. You get the right pieces, you can do a lot. This team is just you. I feel that. Have we hired an assistant GM yet? If we haven't, we should sign Nico to be our assistant GM. No, we have the Rob Pelinka. This is Rob Pelinka's first year as president of basketball operations. He was vice president of basketball operations. Would you be shocked at the Lakers trade for Giannis at the trade deadline? And if so, why? And if not, why? I mean, shocked? Probably not. Like I talk about it all the time. Like very few things shock me in the league, right? Like you watching, you grow up enough with basketball, like crazy things happen. The Luka thing shocked me because it came out of complete left field. It was like, whoa, like there was no rumors, no word, no murmur, no nothing, right? It was just like, there was no like, oh, Dallas might not want to keep Luka anymore or anything like that, right? Like it just was so abrupt and like almost like it was just random. It was like, what just happened, right? It was almost fake. The Giannis thing is like we know it's for years now has felt like a matter of when, not if, right? When is he going to get traded? Not if he's going to get traded, right? So you factor that in with it's the Lakers, right? Like I wouldn't be shocked, but I would definitely be very surprised, like very surprised, because the Lakers on the surface don't have, like, again, the only way I see, like, if the Lakers were to trade for Giannis, I would be standing there waiting for Austin Reeves is expected to sign a new contract. Like, that's what I'd be waiting for. Because if that happens, then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense, right? The Milwaukee Bucks are not going to get a better player than Austin Reeves for Giannis, and they get a pick and everything else, and potentially in a dude theory and all that stuff. I just don't think the Lakers because I don't think Austin Reeves is going to want to go to Milwaukee. One, and two, outside of that, I don't think the Lakers have enough assets. Right. And yes, you could turn Austin Reeves into assets, but would you be able to get enough assets to now outbid all the other teams? Or did you just trade Austin Reeves for nothing? Right. Because those assets, you don't need those assets outside of, unless you're comfortable getting off of Reeves regardless. That's my problem. But T Bonner, LaRavia is horrible. He was this game. In general, he's not horrible. Everybody was horrible this game. This was not a good game for the Lakers by any stretch of the imagination. But he was not very good. This game was very, very disappointing. But Jake LaRavia, again, he does a lot for this team. Hustles. He's one of our best rebounders. Great hustle guy. One of our best defensive players. It's just the offense. The offense is inconsistent, right? And if you're talking about tonight, he was horrible. Yes, I agree with you. If you're talking generally, I couldn't disagree more, right? He's not he shouldn't be your top tier wing right now. He's 23 years old. This is his first real opportunity. I said in the offseason that he was probably going to be because, again, Lakers didn't have anybody else. He's your best two-way guy. Problem is he's 23 years old, and this is his first real role. So he's going to be inconsistent offensively. But he provides a lot for this team. He's, again, one of our better rebounders, one of our better hustle guys, one of our better 50-50 guys. Right? It's just the offensive side of things. He can be inconsistent. He really can. And it sucks. It's frustrating. I get it. But appreciate you, man. I'm sitting in a laundromat reading about myself, sitting in the laundromat reading about myself. My head hurts. We should hire you to be one of our assistant coaches. I mean, assistant coaches only have so much say. I don't know what more I could bring as an assistant coach than what the assistant coaches have. I mean, at the end of the day, it all falls on JJ and stuff like that. He's the front man, right? He makes the calls, he makes the final decisions, makes the final says. If Rob does nothing but Giannis is still not trade, I might be happy. I'm not gonna lie, that's my biggest concern. Like, I think if I almost want Giannis to get traded now, because then I think the Lakers will do something. I think the Lakers will make a push, right? My concern is we get to the trade deadline, Giannis is still a Laker, or still a Buck, and then thus the Lakers aren't going to do anything, and that means all offseason they're going to wait for Giannis. And my concern is now you start to miss out on guys. My hope is that there's enough players available to where if you miss out on Giannis, you'll still be able to get a couple guys. But you might miss out on like throwing money at like a Peyton Watson or a Walker Kessler or certain things that they probably should do. Sometimes the quotes just come to you out of nowhere and you have to go back and rewatch the series. Yeah. Like just things like I'll do that sometimes. Like I'll quote something in like a video or something like that. And then I'll be like, is that from this? And then like, it'll like, so I like look up the quote, be like, make sure I'm using the quote I think I'm using. If you could get either Herb Jones or Wiggins, which do you prefer? Herb Jones. Herb Jones, you could argue, is the better natural fit, right? This year, You could argue maybe next year Andrew Wiggins would be more impactful, right? Because he'd probably be able to self-create more. But Herb Jones is younger. You can argue better defensively. And I think he is better. I mean, you're talking about borderline all defensive guy. And little better at like the dirty work margin stuff, right? Wiggins is the better scorer and shot creator. He's the better like if you're talking about like two-way guy, like not just sole 3-and-D guy. But the problem is like you have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. So I've talked about you're going to pay a premium for Andrew Wiggins, and his best attribute is his ability to self-create and score. Right now, right, Andrew Wiggins would be fantastic because you don't have Austin Reeves and stuff like that. But everybody healthy, how much opportunity is Andrew Wiggins really going to get? He's more likely than not going to be relegated to being in the Rui role, standing in the corner, waiting for a catch and shoot three, and then playing and defending the best player. Herb Jones, like that's what he does. So Herb Jones, you could argue, would be a better, just natural slotted fit next to Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. But next season, if if LeBron ends up leaving, then you could argue Andrew Wiggins, like his shot creation could be more helpful. Have you done a video on the best offseason targets we can get? If not, is there any of them off the top of your mind? I have not yet. I mean, usually do that closer to the offseason. Like usually the way it works is I do all the trade deadline stuff into the trade deadline. Then you go into the buyout targets and stuff like that. And then, last like month or whatever, we'll do like I'll do more player breakdowns, more game breakdowns, more, kind of, the ins and outs and stuff. And then as soon as the Lakers get eliminated, we start diving into the offseason stuff. So usually we'll do that. Last few years I've done it early because the Lakers have been eliminated early. So yeah, that's kind of been the problem. But guys that talk off the top of my head, there's a lot. I mean, Peyton Watson, Tari Eason, Walker Kessler would be the guys I would be trying to throw money at. As far as like unrestricted free agent type guys, Keon Ellis, Ayo Dosunmu, Mitchell Robinson, right? Guys like that up top of my head. Bronny is the best player in the NBA. No, it's garbage time, bro. Yes, I understand it's garbage time. I'm not talking. I'm talking about like actual meaningful minutes. Go look at. I implore you, Grain. Go look up the Lakers record with Bronny in the rotation, like earlier in the season when he was actually in the rotation. Go look up the Lakers record and look up his production when he was on the court. He is good, and we were playing some good teams at that time. Right? Like, hate to say it, but as long as Bron is here, we can't fully build a good squad around Luka. We are wasting prime Luka years, and I know Bron is gonna want to retire. Is gonna want a retirement season, so that's another year gone. I think I'm pretty confident. Obviously, I don't know for certain. Not like I can call Bron and be like, "Hey, I'm pretty confident he finishes that in Cleveland." I'm almost like I would. Like if I like Tyler, where do you think he ends up his final year? It's Cleveland. I think he'll have the farewell tour in Cleveland. We should trade LeBron. It's not up to the Lakers. It's up to Bron. I like your quotationist vibe, bro. Thanks. Austin Reeves is Jeremy Lin 2.0. He definitely is not Jeremy Lin 2.0. Do you think the Lakers need to be more disciplined on the defense side? Without a doubt. I mean, that's putting it nicely. Yes, a lot. Which one of the Lakers players on the roster in the long-term future which one of the Laker players on the roster is the long-term future in the Luka era in LA? Hopefully it's a dude Thero. I mean, he's everything this Lakers team needs. Right? Young, athletic, versatile, has shown the ability to be great defensively, do the margin stuff, do the hustle plays. Like Rob Pelinka compared him to OG Anunoby, which you look at his size and stuff like that. Like it's it's pretty spot. If he can be even half of what OG Anunoby is, that's massive for this Lakers team. So I would say him. That's the problem. Outside of that, Austin Reeves is probably, but you can argue, is he the best fit for Luka? Stuff like that. Let me see. Lakers are buns. LeBron's got to go. You're not wrong. Lakers have been absolute buns. I want Miles Bridges and Kuminga and Keon or Io. In a perfect world, yes, I'm right there with you. Giannis going to the Warriors. I don't think he goes to the Warriors. I think if I had to like Tyler, where do you think he goes? It's the Knicks. There we go. It's no kid. I believe in some sort of riddle. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Now I assume it's because 7 is a prime number, and prime numbers can be intimidating. It's like the doors at church. Why do you have 2 channels? I'm assuming you mean 2 Laker channels, because if you're talking about channels, period, I have a lot more than that. I have 2 Laker channels because a long time ago, many years ago, I started this channel, and this channel was having some success, and a buddy of mine really wanted to get into the Laker space, so he asked me if I'd do a channel with him, and so I was like, yeah, sure. So we ended up doing the channel together, got it monetized, got the subscribers up and all that stuff, and then he was no longer able to do it. So it was like, do I just let it go, or do I just keep doing it? And luckily, there's so much stuff to talk about the Lakers with, and I genuinely love talking about the Lakers. I can do it all day, as I do for a living. So I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it. Like, who says I can't have 2 Laker channels, right? Like, what's the big deal, right? There's a lot of like Rusty Bucket and more Rusty Bucket and stuff like that. There's a lot of like content creators that have multiple channels. So I was like, I'm just going to keep it and just see what happens. And so I do. So usually I like to talk different things. Like sometimes like some stuff I'll talk, but like this channel is more catered to the fan talk, where, I dive into all the trade rumors and all that stuff and things like that, because it's something I enjoy. So I try to like separate the channels. So the other Laker channel, I do more, I'll do more player breakdowns and more of like the other news and stuff like that. So a lot of people are subscribed to both because, you get like the trade rumors and all like the player potential player movements and stuff like that here, where that other channel doesn't get as many views because people don't care about that, the technical stuff as much. So if you are somebody that is into the technical stuff more, then that channel might be more into you, because I usually do more player breakdowns throughout the season and talk more kind of the other news and stuff like that. If there's like a bunch of trade stuff, then I'll still sprinkle in some trade stuff on that channel just because, usually gets the views. So, yeah. So I have this channel as it stands Lakers. And then I recently changed to start the new year. I changed the other channel to more as it stands Lakers, because I was just like, just kind of keep it on brand. And so that way, because I was thinking about it and I was like, it's a different name. It's different everything. Like, how many people will recognize the difference type thing, stuff like that. And, people see more as it stands Lakers. It's like, okay, well, there must be an as it stands Lakers. So let me go check that out type thing. So I'm going to be honest. I'd rather Bronny play than Gabe. I said that before, too. I'm not going to lie. Just the upside in general and the experience he could get. Although we will probably lose him in the offseason with Bronny. The Lakers need me badly. I'm a 2-way superstar player, and I'm the missing piece for you guys to win championship. Let's sign you up. Let's get it. Sign you up. Let's see. This game tells me JJ lacks in-game adjustments. No excuse when you have former coaches on your bench. I don't know what about this game says in-game adjustments, right? I mean, the game got blown up immediately. You only get so many timeouts. You only get so many substitutions. Like, again, he made several changes. They tried to slow him down. They ran 3 different defensive schemes in that third quarter, right? Like, and none of them worked. Right? Like, what is he supposed to do? Guys can't hit shots. Again, a coach is only as good as players. Would the Cavs accept even accept LeBron to have a retirement season, because that just means their whole season is gone. Cavs would be backwards and getting better. So Cleveland already said there was the was it the president? I don't think it was Dan Gilbert. I think it was the president or something of the team said that they would be they'd be more than willing to take LeBron James in the offseason. Couple things about that. In a perfect world, Cleveland. So if Cleveland doesn't win the championship this year, then they almost certainly are going to get off of guys, because they're going to have to, because that just shows that they're not good enough to win a championship, and they are like strapped. So honestly, I think Cleveland would probably do something like, hey, sign and trade LeBron to us. We'll give LeBron like $40 million, and then Lakers will work out a deal, right? They probably move off of Darius Garland, move off of Jared Allen, guys like that. There was talks about Cleveland doing that in the offseason, and there have been kind of murmurs about it at the trade deadline. But Cleveland has really started to be really good again, so they're probably not going to do that. But when they were having their struggles, there was a lot of talks about like, hey, Cleveland might just blow this up and look for somebody like, hey, can we trade for LeBron type thing. Lakers need some real bench players. Lakers need a lot of things. I didn't know you had other channels about Lakers. What other channel about? So I have the two Laker channels. I have the general sports channel. I started a Spurs channel a couple months ago because Victor Wembanyama, and I'm trying to expand the brand. I have another channel, my very first ever channel, Fate Decided, which a couple people are here from that. Yeah, so got about a handful of channels, like genuinely. Gabe's got to go. Not making sense. Yeah, there's a couple players that got to go. Hit the like button. Yes, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, then you should have put thumb up. If you like it, then you should have put. You're the greatest Laker YouTuber of all time. Well, thank you. Seriously, I appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. The Lakers need me badly. Sign them up. Let's get them. Tyler out here recreating the Jordan Reigns with meme channels. I know I'm over here just like, again, like I said, eventually just keep expanding the brand. I mean, obviously I won't be able to do like every channel. So eventually I want to hire out and stuff like that. But all that stuff takes time. All that stuff takes time. I feel bad for Dalton Connect. Yeah, I do too. I really do. Plinka got gifted Luka. Other than that, this clown hasn't done anything. I mean, he built a championship contending team, but wait, are you a Laker fan or a Spurs fan? I'm a Laker fan. I started a Laker channel first. I did the Spurs channel because I needed to expand the brand. I asked people I actually asked people again recently, and they gave me a bunch of channels. A lot of people said the Knicks. But I made a community post, made a video about it, all that stuff, asked everybody like what team should I expand on. Victor Wembanyama is so good that it's like it made sense. Like, you're gonna have Victor Wembanyama for the next 20 years. You should probably grow that. Again, like, at the end of the day, I want this to be a brand, right? I want this to be a recognized brand. You think of Locked On, Lakers Nation, or Nation, because they have other nations, stuff like that. Difference is a lot of those people have have like companies like Laker Nation. Like Trevor Lane is the face of Lakers Nation. He's not he's not the company, right? So they have people, they have money and brand deals and all this other stuff that they can outsource and hire people. I don't. It's just me. So for me, I have to kind of build what I can myself. So if I want to expand into other channels right now, I have to do them myself, because I'm just not in the position to be like, hey, you're a Spurs fan, let me hire you to be a Spurs fan. So it's things like that. It's just, everything takes time, but I do want to slowly start to build, slowly start to carve out other channels, other brands, other things like that. Why do you feel bad for Connect? Because, I mean, how many players have gotten traded and came back? Lamar Odom, it happened to, and his entire life fell apart. Who is your least favorite NBA team? Mine is the Clippers. Clippers are definitely up there. Boston, I've always said, like, I have a respect for Boston, but it's always F Boston. I grew up in the age where it was F Boston. All of the as it stands, Laker fans and Tyler should run the Lakers. We would get stuff done other than Rob. Yeah. Like I say all the time, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that we don't know about. Right? Like, it's why I wish we could see and hear conversations, because I think a lot of people would be more understanding, right? Because the problem is, like, you just see the outside. All you see is, oh, Rob Pelinka's not making any moves. Like, what is going on? But you're not hearing him, you know, like, come on, man. Keon Ellis isn't worth a first. Like, knock it off. Like, come on. Like, let's find a deal here. Like, you're not hearing those conversations, right? You're not hearing those things where, like, I wish we could get like a bird's eye view, right? Into the war room type thing. Or like record it and then release it after the trade deadline. You know what I mean? So you like, so it doesn't ruin any trades or anything like that in the real moment, but then after it does that. I think it's probably hard for Rob to do his job with LeBron's contract. I mean, it definitely doesn't help. I mean, you're talking $52 million. I don't like the Flippers and all 7 of their fans. Yeah. I can't believe Al Connect having a star potential to being a bum now. I mean, again, we all want guys to be super duper rock hard, strong, pause. But not everyone's like that, unfortunately. It's still F Boston for me, but we run the city of LA, Clippers' little brother. Yeah, facts. I get it 100%. Get Rob on the Kellerman Rich Paul podcast. That'd be great for more drama. Yeah, facts. And then this will be the last question I got to the chat. Really appreciate the news you bring to us, Laker fan. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys listening. Seriously. I say it all the time. I'm just some guy talking to himself in a room if it wasn't for all you guys. So very blessed, very thankful, very appreciative of all of you. So I'm going to get out of here. Got to the end of the chat and all that stuff. Been going over an hour. I like these early games because it gives me a chance to go to sleep early. So I want to try to go to sleep early. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Everyone that gives super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. Hopefully we get the Wizards win, right? Or